turned out that Alan and Paul, the boys who'd won my contest, liked being in charge of the camp newspaper. They formed all kinds of committees and hardly missed any of their regular activities. And Miss Bindle volunteered to run off copies for them. Some people really liked the easy way out. They even changed the name of my newspaper from Newsdate by Sheila the Great to Alan and Paul, Tell All. Mouse is one of the camp reporters. She acts like that's a big deal. You must really not like newspaper work if you just give up after 1 week, Mouse said. It's not that like I don't like it, I told her. It's just that the challenge was gone. Well, Mouse said, I think it's a challenge every week, and I've decided that I'm going to be a real reporter someday. And I'm going to have a byline, too. So when you see by Mouse Ellis in your newspaper, you can tell your friends that you knew me when I was starting out. Swell, I said. You do that. I'll probably do something more exciting myself. Like what? Mouse asked. Oh, something. You can't tell me just because you don't know, right? I'm still deciding, I said. I might be a weather forecaster. A weather forecaster? Yes, I think it'd be pretty exciting to always know the weather in advance. Hey, Mouse said, I just got a swell idea. Maybe I can be a reporter on TV, and you can be the weather forecaster, and we'll call our show Ellis and Tubman Reporter. I like Tubman and Ellis Reporter better, I said. Maybe it should be Mouse and Sheila Reporter, or Sheila and Mouse Report, I said. Well, we don't decide that now. Right, it's the show that's a good idea, I said. What we call it isn't important, but we'll definitely have a team, Mouse said. Of course we will, I told her. Let's shake on it. Okay, I said. We shook hands hard. One reason I want to be a weather forecaster is that I always know in advance there's going to be a thunderstorm, and I'll have time to prepare myself. Last night there was an awful storm. My mother and father don't know this, but I sat in my closet until it was over. This afternoon when I got home from camp, I turned on the radio. I sat next to it until I heard the weather report. Tonight is supposed to be clear and cool. That's good. That means there's nothing for me to worry about. I fell asleep with no trouble, but in the middle of the night I woke up. There was a terrible racket outside. It wasn't thunder, but it sounded pretty scary anyway. At first I put my pillow over my head, hoping the noise would go away, but it didn't. When I couldn't stand it anymore, I jumped out of bed and ran to my window. And what did I see? 2 Jennifers. And if one isn't bad enough, and both of them bang at the moon at the same time. The next morning at breakfast, I told the whole family about Jennifer's friend. Everyone seemed to think it was funny. Everyone except for me. 2 days later, Libby reported that Jennifer's friend is definitely a boy dog. How do you know? I asked. I saw him make, Libby said. He used this big tree in the backyard near the fence. I'm not surprised, Daddy said. Jennifer's friend comes to visit every night now. It's getting harder and harder to sleep in this house. In the morning, Jennifer's friend is gone. We don't know who he belongs to. I don't like leaving the house these days. I know it isn't safe. I told Mother, Jennifer's friend just runs around loose. You can't expect me to go outside when that dog is around here. He only comes out at night, Mom said. That's what you think, I told her. But you can't be sure, can you? No, Mom said, I can't be sure. But there's nothing for you to worry about. Jennifer's friend is perfectly harmless. Oh, he is he? Did he tell you that? Did he ring the bell and say, Hello, Miss Tubman, I'm perfectly harmless? My mother sighed. I can see there's no point in discussing with you. Your mind is already made up. A few days later, Mouse was over. We were yodeling in the driveway. Mouse has a new Duncan butterfly. A butterfly is a regular yo-yo you put together backwards, so the flat ends are on the outside. Nobody told me this. I figured it out myself. Mouse was trying to teach me a new yo-yo trick called Round the World, but I kept missing and hitting myself in the head. All of a sudden, I had this feeling I was being watched. I turned around slowly, and there he was, Jennifer's friend. I screamed and threw my yo-yo at him. He came after me. I ran as fast as I could, right into the yard where Jennifer was tied up. Her friend was barking like crazy, and I could tell he was already thinking about how it would taste. So I kept running and screaming until I tripped over Jennifer's chain. I fell down and was sure that was the end of me. So I closed my eyes and cried. When I felt my legs were wet all over, I knew the blood was pouring out of them. In a minute, my mother was bending over me, and I heard Mouse say, She just went crazy, Mrs. Tubman. I couldn't even stop her. My legs, I cried. Do something to stop the blood. What blood, Mom asked. There's no blood. But they're all wet, I sobbed. I can feel how wet they are. Open your eyes, Sheila, and Mom said, and you'll see why. I opened one eye and then the other. I rolled over, and Mom helped me sit up. Jennifer, that dumb old dog, was licking my legs. I'm going to get awful hives, I told Mouse. Just awful. They'll probably be as big as apples. Mouse didn't say anything. She just looked at me and shook her head. Later, Mom took me to the doctor because when I tripped over Jennifer's chain, I scraped up my leg. I said, I told you, didn't I? I told you it wasn't safe to keep that dog around here. Just see what she's done to me. Just see. Jennifer and her friend did not do anything to you, Sheila, Mom said. And if you just had kept calm, nothing would have happened at all. I was calm, I said. Jennifer's friend is the one who got all excited. And did you see the size of his teeth? Mouse came over after supper. I wanted to make sure you were okay, she said. I'm fine, I told her. Did you get hives? Hives? Yes, from Jennifer licking you. Oh, yes, I got awful hives, I said. All over my liver and intestines. Your liver and intestines? Yes, and the doctor said I was really lucky this time. I didn't get any in my lungs. They're the worst kind. Mouse tilted her head and didn't say anything for a minute. So neither did I. Finally, she looked right at me in the eye. Sheila, if a person is scared of something, a person should just admit it. Don't you think so? Oh, definitely, I said. And if I was ever afraid of anything, I'd be the first to admit it. Me too, Mouse said. Did I ever tell you I'm scared of dragonflies? You are? Yes, even though I know they can't hurt me, I'm very scared of them. How about you? What makes you afraid? Oh, let me think. Take your time, Mouse said. You know, I told her, I really can't think of anything I'm scared of except for maybe lions. Lions? Yes, you know, lions. And that's it? Mouse asked. Yes, I can't think of another thing. Mouse tilted her head to one side, to the other side. Was she trying to get a different view of me? It's getting dark, I told her. Remember, your mother doesn't like you walking around after dark. I'm going, Mouse said. See you tomorrow. Sheila, I hope you don't run into any lions. Ha ha, I called. Soon after that, Jennifer's friends stopped coming to visit, and Jennifer made unhappy noises at night. She refused to eat. Daddy got worried and took her to the vet, and that's how he found out Jennifer was going to be a mother. Daddy wrote to the Egrins, telling them about Jennifer. They wrote back, Dear Buzz, Jean, and girls, we're enjoying England, although the boys miss home and Jennifer. We're all thrilled to hear the good news. Imagine our little Jennifer a mother. Thank goodness we'll be home for the big event. Of course, you get the pick of the litter. I know having a puppy will make the girls very happy, especially since they are taking care of Jennifer this summer. We are glad to hear that you are comfortable in our house and that the girls like Terrytown. See you in September. Sally, George, and the boys. P.S. Bobby wants to add something. My mother says that a girl named Sheila is in my room. Did she find my note? Tell her this. Just remember, I meant what I said. I'm bringing home 21 new models to add to my collection. Everything better be just the way I left it. B.E. The whole letter made me mad, especially the part about the pick of the litter. Why would we want one of Jennifer's puppies anyway? Don't the Egrins know that dogs are very unhappy in the city? They have to be indoors all the time. There aren't any backyards where they can be tied up. For a professor, George Egrin isn't very smart, or he would know better than to offer us one of his dumb old dogs. Libby didn't agree. I just can't wait, she said. I'm going to pick him out myself, and I'm going to be in charge of him, and he's going to be sleeping in my bed, and I'm going to be the happiest girl in the world who ever lived. You better quit thinking about having a puppy, I told her, because you can't. Since when are important decisions left up to you, Libby asked. You think you're going to bring in some puppy to my room, sleep on your bed? You're really crazy, you know. I'm allergic to dogs. You know I get giant hives inside me. The little spoiled brat isn't going to get her own way this time, Libby screamed. This time, the spoiled brat is going to have to learn that I count too. I'm also a member of this family. Girls, Daddy said. Tell her, Father. Tell her you're going to let me have one of Jennifer's puppies. Oh, Daddy, you wouldn't do that to me, I cried. Jennifer isn't even having her puppies until September. There's no point in discussing it now, Daddy said. If I don't get one, I'm leaving home, Libby said. And if she does get one, I'm leaving home, I told everyone. In about 1 minute, I think I'm going to leave home, Mom said. That's a good idea, Daddy said. Let's you and me run off and leave them together. Very funny, Libby said. Yeah, very funny, I added. This discussion is closed for now, Daddy told us. Your mother and I will make the decision when the time comes. Libby ran out of the room and up the stairs. I heard her door slam. I picked up the Egrin's letter and went to my room, but I didn't slam the door. I flopped on my bed and read the P.S. from Bobby again. I decided to write back. Dear B.E., sure I found your note, and your 27 bottles of paint, and your 6 tubes of tester's glue, and if you think that I'm using all that junk, you are sick. Me and Mouse, who's my best friend, couldn't care less about your dumb old models. So ha. And your dog Jennifer makes too much noise at night. Yours untruly, Sunny Tubman, otherwise known as Sheila the Great.